So what's up guys, Palpy here. Today I prepared 4 of the most fun and OP melee builds for you. I personally built all of these by myself, but for a couple I actually took some inspiration I've seen on some videos. I'll be showcasing and breaking down every single build, so the whole concept will be easy for everybody to understand. Besides, all of these builds melt Apocalypse difficulty quite quickly. I hope you enjoy! This build was one of my first builds I ever created. This build is a welcome choice for any player in any skill level, since you'll become a walking dead zone for enemies. It's important to use steadfast Mutera, so you'll never get staggered and also heal way better while maintaining your momentum. For the archetypes, I only recommend Challenger as it is the best one for melee builds, but for secondary archetype it's up to you. I have Alchemist as it gives you 25% damage with the perk and you can drop a revive potion at downed teammates. Here again, use the heaviest armors you have since you'll be taking hit a lot. Use Profane Heart to get lifesteal passively. For the amulet I chose Decayed Margin as it gives you even more lifesteal and melee damage. Two of the most important rings are Bisected Ring, unless you have the legendary perk to give you unlimited stamina, then you don't even need this. Rally Band to heal with the Steadfast, as it works for Mirages and Tornadoes as well, which is really huge. Dual Steel Ring so you can dodge if you need to and also end the swings faster. Haymaker's Ring to increase your melee damage per each point of armor. For firearms I chose Nebula only because of the mod, and a customizable weapon for the Heatwave mod. Here are the traits to make the things easier for you. First, when you get into the battle with this build, you want to put the Juggernaut ability on and put this Nebula mod and the Heatwave on, so they will do some damage for you when you're swinging the Mirage. You can pretty much just stay in the face of the enemy with this build and see how much my health is dropping, and then it's regenerating again with this Rally Band Steadfast combo. It's really OP, really doesn't require any skill to use this build, and it's really fun. The only downside in this build is that you cannot actually do anything to flying bosses such as Shahala or Annihilation, Ludusa, since you won't be making enough damage to those with this and Tornado at all. This build is only towards supporting and buffing massive with the Dark Matter gauntlets. The requirement for this build is that you won't get staggered during your laser attack, and that can be done either with the Steadfast Mutera or the legendary perk in your prison that I currently have, so I don't need this Steadfast Mutera. But if you don't have that legendary perk, use this, so you never get staggered while you're doing your laser attack. For the archetypes I chose Handler and the Warden as their first unlockable perks, give you tons of damage. Pick Handler as your first archetype to get its prime perk, the Revive, active. The attack dog ability will give you more damage, while the shield drone will give you protection. My choice of amulet here was the Decayed Margin, as the laser from the gauntlets will heal you, and when you're full HP, you get melee damage increase. The rings I chose were the bisected ring, so you can have unlimited stamina as charging the gauntlets will drain tons of it. Sealed resin loop to cancel the laser if you need to interrupt it. It makes a big quality of life change really. Demolition coil, which unironically boosts the gauntlets and makes the laser explode. And then burden of the excavator to make the explosive damage even higher. Since I don't need the steadfast mutator here as I have the legendary perk, I can boost the laser damage with hypercharger mutator. The firearms don't really matter at all, choose what you wish, but I wanted to include the energy wall mod that you'll see why. Crystal Heart Relic to tank hits if necessary. You can pretty much choose whatever traits you want with this build, but I chose some health and armor and some passive regeneration, lifesteal, and that's pretty much it. Choose whatever you want. Here I actually used the relic so I can make this setup easier for me. Then I noticed I didn't have enough mod charges to put the shield on, so I was shooting a little bit. Then use your shield. If you want to use this energy shield, it will come really handy. Charge the gauntlets, activate the dog, because you will get more damage from it, and then charge the laser. And see how much damage this is already to Sahala. Like 20% already with only one laser attack. And then, when you have done enough damage, put another shield, then charge the gauntlets, and then charge the laser again. Sahala literally cannot do anything about it, and this is on Apocalypse difficulty. Here is actually the reason why I choose the shield drone with this, because if the damage gets through your shield, like from above, like this, the shield drone will actually make it to you that you don't die. Here I changed the spot for my barricade, because the Sahala will do this fake death animation and will slam the tail to the middle. Also, these weak spot hits with this laser are really juicy, look at that. He's almost dead already, and I haven't even been here for like 2 minutes or so. The most important, make sure your pet also had some good time with you. This build is originally made to stand your ground against any enemies, but I noticed I can just melee everybody to death. The requirements for this build are the heaviest armor in your possession, HP increase, which is really important, damage reduction and regeneration. The best archetypes for this god build are the Challenger and the Warden. Challenger because you have Juggernaut ability and a perk to increase your melee damage by a significant amount when enemies are near. Warden for a secondary archetype, as the shield drone ensures you're nearly impossible to kill and its first perk gives you 25% more damage. For the relic I chose Tranquil Heart since this build is all about survivability, so the passive regen helps a lot. The amulet I found most useful is Red Dose Sigil, as it boosts Tranquil Heart even more. The rings I suggest the most are Ring of Grace, so every time you get hit you start generating band, so while you have a shield you regenerate even more. Ring of Crisis, so if there's any way you might be close dying, it will save you. And the last ring is fairly your own choice. I chose Ring of Omens to pair it with the amulet, so I have Misty Dodge ability. And of course the melee weapon is the Wrathbringer, because you'll be taking hit a lot, so it will buff the melee weapon's power a huge amount. Pair it with Striker Mutator so you make even more damage per hit. Here are my traits at the side, so you know what to use. Also any firearms will do with this build. With this build you really don't have to care about literally anything. Just put the Juggernaut ability on if you want to make some nice damage and have even more damage reduction with the Bulwark stacks. And then just spam the Wrathbringer to any enemies. They literally cannot kill you. Like, I haven't had any instances where the bosses were able to kill me, and the Stone Warden also had Vicious. Here you also see why I chose the Ring of Omen, so I can catch up a little bit better with these misty dodges. Like, Stone Warden is nearly constantly at my face and he's spamming me with the attacks, but I'm not just taking any damage because my regeneration and damage reduction, all the armor and HP are just too much for him. Also, I can tank these statues, which is really funny. I can just stand still and be shooting him. It doesn't really matter at all. Here he actually got me pretty low, but the Ring of Crisis would have made it that I wouldn't have died, because I would have got the shield from the ring. Also, I put my shield drone to that random guy, because he was dying in his Apocalypse difficulty all the time, so I didn't even have that. From all of these builds that you're going to see in this video, this is like the best one, because you literally cannot die if you have the shield drone on, and with all of these stuff I've shown to you. It's also good to note, if you get the legendary perk from the prism that you get plus 50 HP or a 30% damage reduction, it's a really huge buff. If you will be using that, there's literally 0 chance, maybe 1% chance that you will be dying. It's that OP really. This is probably one of the most OP builds in the whole game. The only downside in this build is that your firearms don't do quite that much damage, because you don't have literally any boosting for those. So that's why I personally use the Widowmaker, which is, in my opinion, the best customizable weapon in the game, because it does so much damage and has so much range. This weapon is by far the fastest in its swinging speed, which makes this build really chaotic. So for Harvester side, use Shielded Strike there, this will come handy with your swinging speed. For archetypes, use Challenger and Warden again to pick Juggernaut and Heal Drone this time. Don't use the Shield Drone, use Heal Drone instead. When you have a lot of melee attack speed, you'll be maintaining your Shielded Strike all the time, so if any damage gets through the shield, the drone will heal you. Use Profane Heart to have passive lifesteal. For the amulet, choose Matriarch's Insignia to increase your melee damage. The best rings also are Berserker's Crest to increase your melee speed, Brawler's Pride to increase your melee speed even more, Fey Warrior Ring to boost your damage, and Blood Jewel to do more damage with bleeding damage. The firearms also don't matter in this build. Remember to build your prism around the weapon though, because you will be needing this immovable legendary perk so you never get staggered. The Bulwark comes from this drone. When you have the drone active, you get 1 stack of Bulwark so you'll never become staggered with the legendary perk. Just start normal swinging so you get that shielded strike build up faster. And whenever you like, use the charged melee attack so you'll increase the swinging speed of your harvester scythe. This build is all about having a constant shield, and when the damage gets through your shield, the heal drone will make it to you, so you'll still be like full HP when you do this. And because you swing this fast, your shielded strike is like permanent, literally. And you can be in the enemy's face all the time because you have the legendary perk from the prison, so you never get staggered. You can just spam this and no staggering at all. I think this build is like the least versatile of all of these builds I've shown to you, but it's still really effective and really fun to use. Probably my most fun build I currently have. He was just around 50% HP, but all this swinging speed, my mod that I have, and the bleeding damage from the Blood Jewel will like instantly kill all these kind of bosses. Here's an honorable mention to what crystal stuff is capable of. You can pretty much create full spam ability build with it, but when I created it there was so much going on, so I couldn't really utilize it at all. I'm sure there is a way to make this weapon even more busted than what you see here, but I haven't really done enough testing to know. But what I noticed, it's better to stay behind someone to support them with this mage build. But did you enjoy these brutal Slayer builds? Let me know in the comment section if you will be using one of these. And I really hope this video was entertaining for you, so leave a like if you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.